Today we're making French onion soup. You'll need onions, beef broth, thyme, parsley, and bay leaves, flour, butter, salt and pepper, dry white wine, baguette, and provolone. Hello! Today we're going to make French onion soup. The hardest part about making onion soup is cutting all the onions. You need a whole bunch. I used a 3-pound bag of yellow onions, and then I used about 2 more onions out of another bag. I like the yellow onions. You can use whatever kind of onions you like, but I would recommend not using the sweet onions. So we're going to get started, and I will see you in a bit. Okay, I have my pan, and it's over medium heat. I'm going to add the butter to it, and you need half a stick of butter. So we're going to melt this in first. I use unsalted butter. You can use salted if you wish. So we're melting that in the pot. Of course you can't see it. Okay, so now the butter is pretty much melted in here, and I'm going to dump the onions in. It really is the hardest part of the soup, cutting the onions. And I'm not going to lie, I had to fix my eye makeup after I cut these. So we have these in here, and you can unring them if you wish. So we're going to let these cook down. Our onions are sizzling in the pan right now, and I see one that escaped. They're going to need to cook about 45 minutes. It does seem like a long time, but you don't have to stand at the stove the whole time. You do want to check back frequently, especially the further along you go. You're going to want to mix them up, get the butter all around them. I'm also going to sprinkle some salt and pepper on this while they cook, and I will check back with you so we can check the progress of our onions. Pepper. A little bit of salt. Stir it up. They're starting to brown right now. You can see how they're getting brown. Still have a long way to go though. Okay, they're cooking really well. And I'm going to tilt the pan so maybe you can get an idea of what they look like right now. You see they're getting lightly brown, and the volume has gone down considerably. So we need to still keep cooking them for a while though. Okay, I think that we're just about there, and the onions are looking like this right now. There's a lot of good brown stuff stuck to the bottom of the pan, but we're going to take care of that in a little bit. Right now what we're going to do is put in a couple tablespoons of all-purpose flour, and we're going to stir this around and cook it for 3 to 4 minutes. Okay, so I have cooked this for a few minutes. It's looking like this right now. And what we're going to do is we're going to add a cup of the white wine. And remember, you want something dry. I have gotten a Pinot Grigio. You could use anything that you like. And so we are going to stir this and scrape to get the little stuck caramelized juices on there. And I'm also going to turn up the stove top to, I guess, around 8. Let's put it on 8. And I'll see you in a few minutes. Okay, so we're looking like this right now. And you can tell that we've got most of the little flavor crumbly things at the bottom. We've already got those up. So it's been about 5 minutes, and I did reduce my stove top about halfway through. This burner that I'm using gets hotter than the other ones, so just keep an eye on yours and adjust your stove top as you see fit. So right now what we're going to do is we're going to put in 2 of these beef broths. So that is going to be about 8 cups of beef broth. And you can use chicken if you want to. You can use low sodium, no sodium. What I'm using is I have half of a 50% less sodium, and then I've got half of a full sodium because I like it. I always think it needs more salt. But if you're trying to be healthier than I am, then you can just use no salt or lower sodium. And after you have the beef broth in, or chicken broth, if that's what you want to use, you could also use vegetable broth if you wanted to make it more vegetarian. That would work. I have fresh thyme and parsley, and I never really use the same amount. It's just, I just grab a little bunch so you can see about how much I'm using here. I've tied them together with twine so they're easy to remove when I'm done. So I'm going to put those in there. I've also got 2 dried bay leaves. These are kind of small. You could use one big one if you want to. So I'm going to put those in there too, and we're going to let this cook for a while. I will be right back. So we have this here. We're going to bring it up to a simmer, and then we're going to let it cook for about half an hour maybe to get all the flavors mixed in. We'll just come back and stir it every now and then, keep an eye on it, and I'll see you in about half an hour. Okay, so I bought a baguette at the grocery store. I like this kind of bread cut into little croutons and baked. You can use whatever kind of bread that you like. I've lost my bread knife, my long bread knife, so I'm using just a steak knife. As long as it has a serrated edge, it makes cutting the bread easier. You can use stale bread too, because we're going to toast it. So I cut about pieces about this thickness. I just put them in the oven on 350 for a few minutes, and I put them in plain. You could add a little bit of butter to it if you wanted to. So I'm going to continue cutting these, and then I'm going to bake them in the oven to make them toasty. It's just about done, and it smells divine. I believe that the thyme really makes a big difference in this soup, so I highly recommend that you use fresh thyme. If you don't have fresh thyme, go ahead and use the dried, but fresh thyme really, really makes a big difference. So I'm going to get a label and a bowl and scoop out some of this for me. It looks so good. Deep and rich. The onions are cooked just right. So I have it in an oven-proof bowl, and I'm going to put it on a foil-lined baking dish because you will spill it. That's the oven preheating. I've got 3 crispy baguette croutons that I'm going to put on top. And I'm going to put non-smoked provolone on it. You can use whatever kind of cheese you want, but provolone is really good. Gruyere is another one that's really good. And I'll put 2 pieces of cheese on this. And I'm going to bake it in a 450-degree oven. I don't even know if I'm in the shot. A 450-degree oven until the cheese on top is bubbly and brown. So I'll see you in just a few minutes. Our onion soup is finished, and it looks amazing. The melted cheese and the croutons on top, oops, really look great. The broth is deep and rich. The onions are tender. I'm going to give it a taste. The onions have a very gentle, mild flavor. They don't overpower the soup. The thyme and parsley, the bay leaf, perfect. I really like it with the beef broth. It gives it a more hearty feel to it. Chicken stock, vegetable stock, both would work perfectly with this. Really a great light dinner for a weekend when it's gray and chilly like it has been lately. Pairs perfectly with a salad. If you have the time to cook onions for an hour, then this soup is for you. I hope you like it. If you do like the video, please like it and subscribe. It would mean a lot to me, and I'll see you later. Thank you for watching.